Good morning, guys, and welcome to Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. This is our second episode with the new software. We hope you're liking the new changes. I can tell you that we definitely are already. I am your host, if you could even call it that. I think that's a pretty loose definition. Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, and Will's Outlook, breaking down the continued aftermath of the FOMC this week. CPI, I believe, in a few weeks. And then, of course, all of the movement pertaining to markets in reaction to those events. Yeah, I mean, equities so far today, right, guys? I mean, they're up about, at least I was just looking at NQ. It was up 1.5%. That kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be right back to where it started yesterday, but perhaps I should have. I haven't really paid too much attention to, what we've seen with the small caps today in equities, but the dollar has continued its move higher, and we have seen some, large caps still moving, right? Tucker unfortunately pointed out to me that Baba did finally move towards $100. If I had held the original calls that we had on those things for the end of July, they'd have ended up printing. But I did kind of, diddle in the middle with the options, as one does. But either way, guys. I did want to point out real quick before we, get into some crypto talk that we do have 2 new YouTube memberships that are exclusive to this platform. You can find those right next to the subscription button. One of those being just a really simple $5 subscription for you guys to get a few exclusive benefits and perks if you're very passionate about supporting us on YouTube. But, we appreciate all of you guys for being here, of course, on this Friday morning. And yeah, it's been as I said yesterday, it's been a very choppy week, especially for crypto. Especially if you are a Bitcoin trader, you love to trade altcoins. I can't remember, much uglier price action than what we're seeing on Bitcoin right now. So if you're, making money in this chop, congratulations. And if you hate this chop, maybe just wait it out for the range to resolve, right? But I want to get right into the charts. Tucker, what do you got for us this morning? First, as kind of like our first chart of interest.
Well, I actually have 2 pulled up here. This is basically what I've been staring at for the last 24 hours. It's just Bitcoin on top, Matic down here. Got some alerts set. Got the nice hammer over here. I'm personally looking for something like this, and then maybe that, and Bitcoin probably get up there, maybe just take these highs, but because we swept the lows, big down candle, but something you'll notice sometimes is, like, at least what I've seen on Matic, and I know Bitcoin does it too, like you'll kind of come back and you'll tap like the wicks back here. You almost did it here. I noticed it more on like the 5-minute chart, honestly, but yeah, basically I think we probably can get a little push higher. Maybe get a tap up here. This line that I've drawn on Bitcoin is from this wick all the way back here. So we swept it. We really swept it. On the daily chart, it looks a little like, we're holding under it as resistance, right? Like, if I can make it a little cleaner, as long as we don't close the daily above, 29.5, 25, 29.6, whatever. As long as we could keep putting in wicks up here, I think it looks poised to come back down to like mid 28s. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, it's kind of the same thing as this, right? Like, the 3-day chart on Bitcoin is just hilarious.
But it's such an ugly chart, man.
It's like this wick, right? Like, we literally could not close a daily above 30.7. We rolled over. So I think we're going to get something similar here with this wick. So We'll see, but that's what I've been looking at. In the event that we do keep putting in wicks, I've been looking to hammer Matic. I've been hitting it most of the way down. I probably should have just held. My original short was from like up in here somewhere. Probably should have just held it, but I was like short close, short close, short close. So now I'm looking to take this thing down much lower. I've got a couple TPs laid out here, but I think this first one was from I put it right above the POC of this whole range. So 0.668, I think, is a good spot to shave. And then just this wick from back here, this 0.6 area. But basically, and I know SC was talking about this the other day. If you lose this, if you lose this little channel, right? If you come up here and then, that is probably the conservative short right there. But you lose this channel, it's probably good and over.
Tucker, how does the Matic Bitcoin pair look? Any signal on that? I'm assuming it looks pretty weak, with little pockets of outperformance. Just looking at that chart, but yeah.
In general,
triple bottom time.
I nailed that.
Oh wait, I'm on the 1 hour. Jesus. It is an oscillator against Bitcoin, which is interesting, and it is sitting at support, which is also interesting. But it does not. I mean, it kind of looks like it's doing something similar to this.
Kind of looks like it's bottomed.
Maybe we stabbed it close. No, I wouldn't say.
Well.
The perma bull. No, I'm kidding. You're not.
It does look. It is at support.
It is at support,
if
but it doesn't.
Down here, it's like it's wrecked though.
If it loses like that, it's completely wrecked. So I expect it to probably lose that before this bear market's over. Because this is all just 2021, 2022. Obviously, but I guess you could say if it holds this while USD bleeds, it's pretty bullish for Matic Bitcoin. But
yeah, if you look at that, what do you see there? You see lower highs on the left, and now higher lows on the right. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
That
there you go.
That's assuming the low is in, though. Yeah, it's a strong assumption. It's a big assumption there.
What are we thinking about Bitcoin today? I mean, it's moving up a little bit. Everyone's getting a little bit excited on the timeline, but it's a Friday. It's technically still lower than where it was yesterday. And it's just in this annoying little range right now.
I'm having PTSD watching this price because I recognize it like
I told you guys.
Man.
So what happens, Tommy?
It's gonna sweep the high. It's gonna be disgusting, and then somebody's gonna randomly close a 9-figure long straight through support, and you're not gonna be able to prepare for it.
So at 29.7, 29.8, someone's gonna puke, and then we'll take out the low.
I'm gonna hold out hope that we can bounce from 28s, man. But
say that again, Tommy. I heard the first.
I'm gonna hold out hope that we can bounce from mid 28s, but
yeah,
it doesn't look great. It might be one of those things where you have to have a pretty deep puke quickly and then bounce back, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I was joking about it this morning on our Discord call, and everybody was whining and complaining about the previous range that we were in between 29.5 and 31.5. And it's like, oh, can we just please leave this range? We've been chopping here for so long. This is so annoying. And then we break down, and what do you know? We're stuck in an even tighter range. Give me back the old range. At least we got a few thousand points there. This is just tedious in here, man.
In hindsight, the move is to just, as soon as Bitcoin has that huge move, immediately start allocating to speculative risk, because Bitcoin will just go sideways for literally like 2 months.
But here's
Yeah,
the thing: we're sitting here talking about a move up. I mean, arguably, I wouldn't see it, man. I think if we break back above there, you now use that as support if you're not wicking.
Yeah,
Okay.
like what if you close one on the daily up there?
Yep. I think you'll hold that as support at that point, and then what you'll do is you'll just trend sideways probably for like a week, get people super bearish, thinking it's going to break down, and then rip.
Yeah, maybe even.
Yeah, they could even run down a little bit. Yeah.
I think
They can make
probably
shorts
dip in
chase here.
truthfully.
They can definitely make shorts chase here.
And guys, we are also joined by Wabi, the king himself. Before we continue with the stream, we got 30 people in here. Thank you guys so much for being here on your Friday. It means the world to us. If you could, please just take one moment and quickly like the stream for us. Usually our goal is 20. We picked up a decent amount of followers recently, so I feel like maybe I need to move my usual target. I think we can do 30 likes. I think by the end we'll get 30. Let's see if you guys can do it. You never disappoint me. So please, if you are enjoying the stream, if you are liking it so far, please just give us a quick little thumbs up there. But yeah, Tucker, I like that level, man. I really, actually slightly lower than that, like the wick right below it. I'd love to see.
Oh no, man.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh my.
Seeing what the hell? Seeing a little similar. What is happening?
It's telling you don't adjust the fractal.
No, I'm gonna massage it. Well, you're gonna want me to. What is it?
That one does not want to be massaged.
It's saying the time frame is too low to massage it.
What is that? Max, you're a trading view guru. What is that?
What is what?
Sometimes fractals will do that, man, where you literally can't massage them.
When you
If you're on log scale, sometimes it like warps it weird.
No.
You're not? Okay.
If you're on the 5 minute, it doesn't work out well.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
If you're trying to be too bullish on Bitcoin, then it doesn't let you.
But look, we could like this whole, we could be potentially doing something, and we're like here, and we kind of keep doing this, and then we launch. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly falling, but
I mean,
at the same time, I think that it's different where the last move up that you just that one right there, that whole comparison you just did, that was the first impulse up after a range breakout. 25K was our range high. What I'm seeing here, which is different, double top. So double top.
Yeah.
I think it's the context is key here, not to be annoying about that saying, but it's such a different structure. Like if anything, I think the bull case is that like, yes, maybe we like locally double topped, but we're still in a range low is 25K, range high is 31.
Yeah, but it went from a rising channel to now a falling channel.
Goodness gracious.
Arguably. Right. So like when you turn from one to the other, you're looking to reverse back to the other direction and then kind of play the range. Because if we go back up to that high end of that channel, that falling channel, you can almost bet they're going to try and break out of that area, and we'll be able to see a top of range. Are they going to reject again, or are they going to break out? And arguably, if they got above that top of that channel, it's going.
34K. I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
that's what we print, man. I'm gonna be miserable. I don't know.
Look, I'm a bear up there. I'm just telling you. Like I'm just telling you this is gonna happen before it's lower. It just is.
Yeah, I don't love it. It doesn't. I don't think it. This would be too. I don't like
August is gonna be too volatile for that, man.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, but the thing is it can come a lot quicker than people think, right? The up can come very fast, and then once it gets up there, everybody thinks it's going to hold and that everything's good, and then it just starts going down from there and just starts reversing into the end of the year.
What's probably going to happen is there's going to be a day where, because like I was saying on the show yesterday, volatility for Bitcoin right now is only rising aggressively when Bitcoin USD is moving higher. So what's probably going to end up happening is if Bitcoin is able to accept over like 31, 32K. It's probably got to be supported by options, but you're going to get this huge like covering event on people who are short volatility, and it's going to be amazing because I mean, I know a lot of people who've been bragging about shorting volatility like all year, and I really want them to, to just like finally to feel some pain. But this market is just starved of volatility right now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we were hitting 20s and people were sitting there telling me on CT Twitter how, oh, we're in the 20s. It's time to start longing volatility. Now we're sitting at 13, right? And it's like, dude, you guys got to understand. There's a floor of 8. Once the direction starts going down, you got to look for that floor, not 20s, because it was a norm for like multi-year.
Y2 Janitor said pamp it. Shout out to Y2 Janitor.
Like volatility could realistically go all the way down to 8. 8 or 9. Could you pull up ball real quick?
I wasn't talking about the VIX. I was talking about Bitcoin's historical volatility. But I agree with you, Will. I think it could go down that low.
Well, the reason I'm talking about indices specifically is because I think that also flows into crypto, right? And if vol can continue to drop in indices, then it can definitely, allow passive flows to move into crypto and push market cap up.
Yeah, but crypto doesn't really have passive flows.
Will, do you think that
I'd say it ebb and flows with the stock market, right?
Will, okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Will, do you think that equities need to push up towards an all-time high for Bitcoin to make that next impulse, or can it do it on its own?
I think it could do it before the stock market or after, right? And a lot of people think they have to move simultaneously, but either crypto's being used as a way to create liquidity, aka they put money in crypto first and then roll it over to stocks, or people are using their excess money that they've made in stocks and rolling it back to crypto. It's literally like they haven't been tied and moved together the entire year. They moved one in front of the other or the other in front of the other, and it's still. I look at everything as kind of like waves, right? And so what you got is you got the ocean. And you got this little pond, and the ocean leaks into that pond, right? And there's this like little channel. And sometimes the waves are so heavy that it pushes some of that water into that pond and raises the water level, right? And then sometimes it comes back out and it starts to dry out, right? From the heat of the summer. I'm just trying to give it like a normie type of conversation here. But it's just money flowing back and forth between two channels that are basically connected through liquidity, right? Just like stocks, just like I would even say luxury goods and stuff like that. If you look at luxury goods, they're actually up. They're up on the year. That's a very big indicator in my eyes that money is there. It's there because Gucci and all these other ones, they wouldn't be doing well if it wasn't.
What is that ticker that was it real?
Luxury goods?
Yeah, the Gucci one or whatever it was.
I think so. Let me see.
You remember what I'm talking about, Max?
No, I don't.
Damn. It was the one that Mr. Z talked about.
Is it LVMH?
No.
I remember those discussions, man. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what it is though.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is either. But yeah, this one, Will. Strong consumer. Luxury goods ripping, huh? Are they hitting their marks? Ooh.
Tell me that chart's not ridiculous.
Yeah.
And people are saying there's no liquidity.
Well, the only argument would be,
I mean, I think everything's near topping. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, though, the consumer has continued to dabble in luxury goods, right? This is supposed to be a recessionary, broke consumer that has no money, but luxury goods are continuing to flourish.
No, I don't.
Who said that, brother? who said this is a recession on the consumer, bro. Because
Yeah, I don't think so.
let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, most of that jargon comes from these weird BTC maxis that were bragging about going into T-bills at the lows.
Hey man, don't hate on T-bills.
Oh man, I have been waking up extra early just to be a hater, man.
That's actually good.
Let's go from trading shitcoins on Uniswap to being T-bills and yield maxis. Come on, bro. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Bunch of shorts just came in on Bitcoin.
But you see that though, right, Tucker? You see that flow between the two? Like you got money flow going down and you got luxury goods going up.
Tommy, where are the shorts coming from?
I'm not sure.
Is it Bybit?
No, it better not be Bybit.
I don't think it's like too much on the short side, but it's like enough to where they're probably gonna go. They're gonna take the high again, which is what I said on yesterday's show they were gonna do, man. They're gonna go after that damn high again.
Yeah.
They're trying to take all these shorts out before any drop, and then they're gonna remove all the shorts from the market in one move. That's how they usually do it. Let's see. Bybit does have the most negative funding. OKX is predicted more negative than Binance.
Dude, DYDX is so long, man. They have been longing like their life depends on it since we've dropped down, man.
I posted a chart on it. On the monthly, you're floored.
I think he's talking about DYDX funding for Bitcoin, I think.
It's been so positive, man, dude. It's at 40%. It's almost 40% on an annualized basis right now to long Bitcoin, and it's been above 20% consistently.
Really dislocated on DYDX. I have no idea why. I assume there's probably like a Giga Chad market maker sometimes that will just
click on 1 year there, Tucker, at the top.
That will kind of lead you on directionality before it happens, but I haven't really back tested that yet.
Can you reset that so Bitcoin's at the top?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
You might just have to refresh your page. It should put Bitcoin back at the top. There you go. Dude, look at the funding on DYDX, man. They are so long right now, man. And I've been watching it closely. It literally has been like above 18, 20% since we dropped down, man.
Bybit pretty long across the board.
That should be your signal that we're going up.
Okay, well, you know what?
He's about to kick me out the show.
I could say anything that implies price moving up, and we'll be like, yeah, good enough for me, man. That's the signal. That's all you need to know.
To me, the only like funding that you really need to decipher market directionality right now is what is Bybit versus Binance for BNB.
For BNB?
For BNB.
Okay.
Look, I'm not going to say names, but I did post in our chat. There are some pretty big accounts that are telling people, if you buy here, you're stupid. And I'm talking like 100K plus accounts.
You know what it is, Will.
And you know who I'm talking about. Somebody was talking about Bitcoin was going to go to 200K. And now they're saying you're dumb if you buy here.
People are afraid to buy the top. It's a psychological thing, especially if they've been bearish the entire way up. They're afraid to buy the top.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, real quick, we're at 22 likes on the stream. We still have 30 people watching. If you have not liked the stream yet, our goal for today was 30. So please consider just taking one quick moment and hitting that thumbs up for us. We would greatly appreciate it. It does wonders for the algorithm. It really makes the robot like us. And just a quick reminder too, we are offering something new. If you tune in regularly and you want to help support us, we do have a new join button here. You get a special little emoji next to your name. We'll post some of your comments up on the stream. And it's just a way for you to say, hey, I really appreciate what you guys do and show up every single day. No pressure. We're still going to show up every single day, but it's $5 per month and you get a cool little emoji next to your name, some shout outs, stuff like that. Nothing too serious, but check that out if you are curious and you are a regular. But yeah, guys, we're at 25 likes right now, only 5 away from our goal of 30. But anyways, Tucker, back to you.
Fun Simpson shorts. Shorts got wrecked earlier this morning, Bobby.
I draw a magnet.
I'm telling you, they keep drawing in shorts. Are you not seeing the pattern here?
We got to draw in a little bit more if we're going to get to your target, Will.
There's no major trend right now, man. It's just in between a multi-$100 range.
You make it sound so multi-$100 range.
Yeah,
huge
dude, it's
range.
like this $200-$300 range. It's like, oh man, here comes a move. Here it is.
You guys,
Get ready. Oh my goodness, I'm ready.
It's coming.
Bobby woke up to be a hater, man.
Generation of future liquidity, man. It's all there.
Oh,
I
man.
see the generation of our future moves, man.
You know what's gonna happen, bro? We're gonna have a candle to either direction, and we're just not gonna move for another few weeks, and then we're gonna have another move. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna go like this, and then either down and then or up and flatline. It's pretty boring, man. I think like I don't think we're gonna have much volatility until like probably early August, man. If I'm being honest, usually
it's coming in August, man. We're getting bull in August. I'm like highly convicted of it.
Like I think if we want to look at fractals, I think something would be like something beneficial would be like look at 2015, right? You guys want to do that? You can go on the Bitfinex BTC chart. That's the one with the most data, and just pull up Q3.
What do you guys think of this chart? We had somebody in the comments ask about. Yeah,
That's a cute dog too. Remy the Whippet.
Tommy bottomed. Will bottomed.
It's either bottomed here, it bottoms back in that consolidation right below it.
One of the two. Yeah, I'd agree. Honestly, yeah, I like that higher low there.
I mean, we could come back into here.
Yeah, you could. What I would do to invalidate this, I just draw a trend line on the lows, and if you came back and violated that, it's probably gonna reverse back down. Yeah. Not there from the wick to the body of the other one. Yeah, you could even do that. Like just draw it across the bodies. You violate that area, you're screwed. Like you're coming back down to that liquidity.
OP is one of the most heavily VC owned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna definitely deviate below.
Can we check out OP USDT, Tucker?
I think it's a good representation for kind of like the health of the space because of that. LDO is the same way, even though I mean LDO is just an awful token to try to trade.
Wabi's offended by that.
I'm not.
It's a spot hold, man.
I'm not offended at all, man. The thing can go back to a buck. I wouldn't bat an eye, man. But I mean, buying it under $2 and then selling some when it gets above $2, that's been a nice trade, to be honest, man. But with Optimism, I remember buying that a couple of weeks back at like 88 cents, and it's been right in line with Bitcoin year to date from that local bottom. So, yeah. I'd love to buy it at 50 cents, though. You know.
Wabi, what do you think about this comment here? OP only has 16% of the tokens in circulation. It will be a forever down coin.
I don't think that'll be the case, man. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you're going to have a lot of those emissions being splurged out before the bull market, most of the sell pressure is going to be done. And if I compare to something like Arbitrum, pardon me, the FTV on Arbitrum is significantly more than Optimism. And when it comes to projects as well, Arbitrum is already becoming extremely diluted, whereas Optimism, you're going to have Brian Armstrong develop so many products on there. So a bet on the Optimism token is going to be a bet on Coinbase, right? So I think in the next bull market, Optimism can probably get to like $20-$25 in my opinion. And if I compare to something like Ethereum, I don't think Ethereum is going to 10x from here. I don't think so at all. to be frank, in the next like 2.5 years. I don't. Think of the gas fees, bro. Are we going to be paying $1,000 in gas fees? You know what I'm saying, man? We were paying like 700, $600 on gas fees when ETH was above 4K, right? So I'm talking mainnet. I understand like layer twos and all that stuff are gonna have cheaper gas fees, but I think in the bull market, optimism is gonna be like a huge hub for like DeFi and all that stuff. So
Tucker,
and
can you?
if we want to talk about like tokens that don't have much supply out, I mean, just look at how
Exactly, Tucker.
just look at how some of the layer ones performed in the last bull market, right? They had a lot of emissions, but you know they still performed relatively well. So in a bull market, everything goes up, but
Good business development teams will pump their bags, man.
yeah,
They will pump
yeah.
their bags.
I'm
They have a
more
lot of
bullish.
wins. They will pump their bags.
Yeah, and I'm more bullish on optimism than I am on Arbitrum. Arbitrum right now, like they're wasting too much time. I think in trying to like market, and when I look
You
at
know what I think, Wabi? I think both of them will do well in the next bull run. I think Arbitrum is a speculative new token. It's the new shiny kid on the block, whether it's got a lot of attention or not.
It's never even performed well though, man. Like it didn't even 2x.
I actually like the
here's
Adam comparison for Arb, Wabi.
Yeah. So like the comparison between like I know we're talking charts and all that stuff, right? That's cool, but the whole like Cosmos Atom comparison to Arbitrum, basically what that means is in the Cosmos ecosystem, right? Anybody can come up with a project and then submit a governance proposal. Basically, it's a governance proposal is basically, you know, like a GoFundMe, right? Like you submit a proposal saying like, oh, I want X amount of Atom to fund this project that'll benefit the Cosmos ecosystem. And so they'll give you a grant, right? And these grants can be like 200,000, 500,000, right? And so that's the same thing that's going on with Arbitrum, right? Because Arbitrum is like hot and new, you know, their token released a couple of months ago. They've got all this runway. What happens is you'll have failed products with barely any liquidity, on say like Avalanche or Phantom. No disrespect to those people, and they'll port their projects over to Arbitrum, and then they'll be like, hey, you know, we're doing a rebrand. We have experience developing on other chains, right? Like, you know, here's a governance proposal. We're going to be asking for like $1 million worth of Arbitrum tokens, right? So what's been happening is that a lot of these projects have basically, you know, come in a different box, but it's the same shit. And so there's like a perpetual sell on the ARB token because they're just giving it out to these governance proposals, right?
So, but Bobby, all chains do that, especially
but not like
Arbitrum,
not like Arbitrum or Cosmos.
But,
it is actually disgusting, dude.
But here's the thing. Look. All these.
I can't defend that, Will. Like it's haram, man, haram, and like it's sort of like, why am I going to get into something where, you know, anyone can just perpetually dump on me and they're part of the ecosystem, right? And it's an excessive amount of the supply. That's the thing. Whether it's these other protocols, right? Like I understand Uniswap does grants too, right? But they don't like use like 10% plus of their treasury to do those things, right? So if I compare the two, right, like Arbitrum and Optimism is
Did you just say that almost every L1 out there is using 10% of their treasury?
So every L1 is pretty much dead right now, man. Like Avalanche, what's Avalanche, right? And NFT space. I
loved Avalanche back in the day.
Yeah,
they were like long setting up on AVAX. How does that chunk look, Tucker? Because I used to love AVAX back in the day, man. Using it for all my you know, super cheap transaction fees. Back then on chain on Avalanche was I enjoyed it more than on Ethereum because gas fees at that point were like $200, $250 at least, man. But
there's a line somewhere in here.
I like that MACD you pulled up there too, Tucker, with the
oh yeah, we were talking about Bitcoin,
with the
MACD.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it can real quick, let's just I put some in the chat, but
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
add in some
someone
context
just
about
dropped a
Bitcoin.
really important comment here.
Oh, bro.
Joe's Pizza.
I like to eat my pizza without lead.
Will, you woke up and you're a hater, man. You
Joe,
know,
I mean, Will, you ate that pizza with a smile on your face.
Well, I was
Will
I
is
was
mad he liked
smiling
the
because
pizza
I
that
didn't
much.
I didn't get. I can't say it because I don't want to get us demonetized or anything like that. But yeah, I was still alive. Look, when you got to close the sunroof because of where you're at, that's a problem.
Oh,
That's
come
a-
on, come on, guys, look up Joe's Pizza Winwood. It's not.
Hold on, where is it at? Where is it at, Wabi? Go ahead and send it in
Winwood.
again. Yeah. Go and look up Winwood and the history of Winwood. How about that?
You gotta love it.
my version of Elf is pumping right now, guys. It's about to make a new all-time.
Oh, he said the word.
No, we're not.
We
Don't
gotta
pull it
pull
up,
it up.
Tucker.
We're
No,
not gonna pull up Elf. My
Look, if
Elf.
you say it, we
What's
gotta pull
your
it
Elf?
up. We gotta pull it up.
What's
we
your
got a good question from Astronaut 198. What's the thesis for shorter cycle with top in Q2 of 2024, guys? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
shorter cycles?
I think it has
Probably
to.
be the
Actually,
melt up. Probably
I
be
thought-
the melt up, man.
No, we talked about this. Remember, cycles are actually lengthening. From what we measured.
If I were to think of
I see like two arguments. I was talking about it on yesterday's show. I'll just give the quick spiel. Like we're either replicating, the bear market before the last one. So basically 2014, 2015, where, we didn't have a double bottom and we ran up. I don't think that's likely personally. And I don't think it'll happen in as necessarily quick of a time. Maybe it does. Or, there's also the double bottom thing. It kind of goes all back to what equities want to do in stocks. Like are they topping here or, within the next 1 or 2 months? And if they are, do they head right back to the lows from there? Or do they continue higher, right? Do they continue higher and then go back to the lows in like a year or two? I think it's kind of an unprecedented spot for Bitcoin to be in. So it's like shorter cycle, longer cycle. I think it's way too early to be able to answer that.
I mean, for now it is, but historically, we'll just go off historicals, right? For now it is 100%. Everything's too early right now. It's too early to speculate. Bull run is too early to speculate that this isn't a DCB, which is dead cat bounds. It's too early to speculate that we can't go higher or go lower. But it's not too early to speculate that we are coming up on the halving, and it's not too early to speculate that we will, pretty much more than likely last off based off history into the halving. But as far as shorter cycles, longer cycles, I usually try to stay away from those, just like I try to stay away from like double tops, double bottoms, stuff like that. Even though I talk about them, right, in specific price areas, I don't look at them as majors at the highs and at the lows. It's just when you start to lose that strength against your momentum, if your momentum's higher and your strength's lower, there's a problem, right? And that's what you have to evaluate.
There is also, I think, the argument that Bitcoin has hit its cyclical peak closer to the halving in every cycle, from my understanding. Maybe that's just a product of diminishing returns, but
exactly, Robert. See, if you had right there what Robert said, that's precisely the way I look at it. Everything remains the same until it doesn't, right? And when things change, then you change with them and you readjust and you assume that they can change between those two things until it validates the pattern again. That's the whole point of patterns. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is that patterns are strong in trading in all aspects, right? Whether it be support, resistance, whether it be falling or rising, they're strong because they tend to play and play and play and play again. And markets tend to come up on liquidity levels and they tend to either reject or accept. And they come down to liquidity levels, and then they seem to reject or accept. It's usually where the most excitement is on the chart. But go ahead, Max. I think you want to say something.
So I've got some good news and some bad news. My mouse just died, and I can't get this comment off the screen, so it's going to be up there till I get my mouse charged just a little bit. So it'll be about 5 minutes.
Dr. Space is hit.
I'll give my thoughts on the potential early top here. I actually think that 2024, like the first half, could be pretty bearish at this point. I am definitely a proponent of lengthening cycles with diminished returns. I think it makes a lot of sense as the asset class matures and the market cap grows, and the amount of holders and institutions in the space come aboard. I'm actually thinking that the next cycle top is probably going to be like August or September of 2025, and I think that the cycles again will lengthen. The volatility up and down will be slightly more muted, and I don't think that we're going to have these like 80% crashes anymore. I think they'll probably go down to like 50-60%, something like that. And I think it's going to end up merging with TradFi in a way that a lot of Bitcoin maxis definitely will not appreciate. But ultimately, I think it will lead towards more price expansion, and I think also the halvings will become less pertinent, and they won't carry as much of an oomph because the secret's kind of out and people front run them, and they're already doing that. So I'm very skeptical that we would see like our next cycle top in Q2 of 2024. So
yeah. So what's here is if you didn't buy the bottom, right? The best time to accumulate before the bull run, before the halving, here was 182 days. Here was 152 days. One more bar to the right, basically 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. Q4. These all line up with Q4. Okay. 183, 152, 122. It's all Q4. So I'd be shocked, honestly, if we didn't get a dump into Q4 and that was the time to buy. Like, my thesis right now is I'm going to have my bags packed before the first of the year, before the bull run, most likely. So, yeah, I mean, I think in terms of drawdown, though, Max, like you were talking about, like, let's just get rid of this.
Yes, I got 1% on my mouse. The comment is gone.
Nice. Okay.
But thank you for the comment, Astronaut.
In terms of drawdown, okay, 84, 85. What do we do here? From the top, from the tippy top, 77. So these two are basically the same. Bitcoin was, the market cap was tiny. It's a lot larger now. Yeah, I'd agree. We're probably going to draw down like 60% next time, which is totally fine. The lengthening cycle, diminishing return theory. Where is it? Yeah, there she is. I think we need the weekly though. Yeah. So how did we do this? We literally did this yesterday. I don't remember how we did it though. Do you guys remember how we did this? There is proof. I swear to God, there's proof.
He promises.
You drew a line across the top and said this is where it's going.
No, I know, but the time, and the question is, right, which top will we pick?
I honestly I like how that looks too. Like, if you look at the white area, that's kind of like your accumulation area right there.
I think we're going to look back on this whole period that we've been debating up or down in, and it's going to be a huge accumulation phase. Like, it's not going to matter 2 years from now. I think 15K to 35K is your accumulation. It's going to age really well, but it's still a really, really big range to be sitting in.
Yeah.
So that proves the other from the bottom. Actually, that's not even the bottom. What am I talking about? This is the bottom.
I think when you like, if you go and like, because you can see how it's starting to tighten on the end. Like, if you were to like tighten those bands, you get less of a top than what you had last time, and then you get kind of a tighter range, right?
Hang on, let me get rid of all this.
It's almost like you're moving into a very tight range on this massive time frame that could be looking for a potential massive breakout.
Okay. This is what we did. From the halving to the peak, right? That's what we did. From the halving to the peak, lengthened. From the halving.
Oh, for that part, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd go with the first one. That's where your real strength was. But...
Well, the first one ruins the argument, so
Oh yeah, I mean you do remain elevated, so yeah, you could go with the second one.
Let's fit our bias here. Let's fit our bias. I can't. How does Ben do it? Ben does it some way where it's so clear that the cycles are lengthening and returns are diminishing. But
do you want to measure it from the halving or the cycle low? I think if you measure it from the previous bear market low, then it becomes more obvious.
Yeah, astronaut, exactly. Like a lot of people don't even realize that the cycles are very much the same over and over and over again. They think that they change.
Yeah, so if you measure it from like the actual bear market low and count that as the cycle low rather than the halving, it's pretty apparent that it's lengthening.
So astronaut says
low
measure
to peak,
from
low
the
to
top.
peak, low to peak.
Tucker.
7, 8, 1,000. What?
Astronaut says measure from top to top.
You guys want to know something crazy? You guys want to know something crazy?
Yes.
I'm going to destroy the lengthening cycle theory right now.
No.
Prepare yourselves without showing any charts or anything. Look, we bottomed in 2015, 18 months out before the halving. We peaked 18 months after the halving. And then in 2018, we bottomed 18 months out before that halving. And then we peaked 18 months after
the first
2020 halving. And the prior halving was in May of 2020, right? And we peaked in November of 2021. And we always bottom. We usually always bottom about a year after the peak. We peaked out in November of 21, and we bottomed in November of 22. Well,
that's basically what astronaut's saying.
Yeah, and from the bottom to the top, it's been about 3 years. No, I mean, my bad. December of 2018, all the way to November of 21, and January of 2015, all the way to January of 2018. That's when alts peaked out. So lengthening cycle theory, it's not going to happen, man. Like, it's still going to be the same stuff, in my opinion. Probably that probably won't happen until Bitcoin like reaches over 100K for a second time, dude. Because I do think the next cycle we're going to hit 100K, but we're going to go right back down to like 50K.
I think when people talk about lengthening, right, and this is the thing that I think a lot of people miss, is I think that we're actually talking about the cycle lengthening. It's more about the bull portion of the cycle lengthening, right? So the cycle is still the same. It's still the same amount of days, peak to trough, and trough to peak, and or you could say peak to peak, right? But your time in the air, your time in the upper range of the bull portion is what's extending more or less, arguably, right? Especially this last cycle, I would arguably say that this last cycle, you basically got the double top. Your time on the upside was much longer than your time, basically on previous tops. So if we continue to pull that pattern, we could end up with extended bull markets. It doesn't mean that your bottom's not going to be where it is 180 days out, and it doesn't mean that your top's not going to be where it is 210 days out from peak to peak, right? I think those will still play. It's just that your upside will be longer than your downside.
Well, I would actually argue, and you can see the chart right in front of you. I would actually argue that the prior cycle before this one, right, the 2015 to early 2018 one, that was a longer parabola than the one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I think like we're just gonna flip flop back and forth between double top cycles and parabola cycles. So next cycle, probably, this cycle. But I don't think this is a bear market.
Robbie, you know how we make fun of Will for saying pay? How you say parabola? I think it's parabola.
It's parabola.
Why is
Like
everyone on
Pepe
the
is
team
where
have
it's at.
such
All right.
unique
Parabola.
pronunciations?
And what's wild, bro, with Pepe is that like
Pepe every
I
day.
think it's gonna be like Doge, bro. It's not gonna do a damn thing until Bitcoin breaks all-time high, and it's gonna do 100x. It's gonna go to 50 bull market cap.
Pepe is going to be. I'm sorry, Pepe is going to be. I think it's going to be a top 10 coin next cycle.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt in my mind.
yeah. And dude, I'm ready to like sell any of my bags. I mean, any of my bags if I see like a better narrative come up out of nowhere, a shiny new token or what have you, or something fundamentally bearish on anything that I'm holding. So that's something that like I don't think many people are coming to grasps with. Like just because you're hodling something right now, I mean, you can't discount the fact that something might happen within that team or product or something newer coming along that will start to outperform it. Like you got to be ready to understand that 90% of what you hold will probably be switched out for something else. But
Real quick to switch gears just for a second, Tucker. What's your thoughts on Rivian? I feel like we talked a lot about Bitcoin.
Yeah, we did. Let's just put it here.
But anyways, I'll finish my thoughts real quick, man. I do understand that there probably will be some tokens that make it out the other side because one mistake that I did was fumbling my Phantom bag, and there's probably a Phantom out there. There's probably a Phantom 2.0 out there that will just blow everybody's minds, and it's probably some like low cap. But
And here's the thing too, and Wabi, I spent a bit of time talking with you about this just throughout the past few months. It's the big debate on, is it best to accumulate something, maybe even like a Solana, right? That's just completely distressed, VC dumped on, it couldn't have been from a sentiment perspective more crapped on than when FTX went under. Does it make sense to try to accumulate something like Solana for the next cycle if it goes back down to 10 or 12 bucks or maybe even sub 10? Or is it best to even just ignore those and try to play new narratives, new cycles, new tickers that haven't had a cycle yet? Something like a Caspa, So I think maybe like a healthy combination, but I don't know. I don't know what you think.
yeah, I think with Solana, man, I know EXO's pretty like getting pretty bullish on Solana for the next cycle, and they do have some things coming out, but like I just feel like gaming is probably going to be a massive narrative. So I think like second half of 2024, there's probably going to be a few gaming projects that catch a lot of hype, in my opinion. And I remember right after the halving, I was looking at my Coinbase account and I was comparing dog shit like EOS. I was comparing shit like Chainlink that already went up 100x over the last 18 months. And then I remember looking at like this one token called Sandbox. For those of you that don't know Sandbox, it's like this metaverse token thing or whatever. It's a platform. And it was funded by was partially funded by Binance, and they had a lot of good backers from like the traditional TradFi space, like this huge gaming company
Look
called.
at that chart, man. Oh my goodness.
Is that Sandbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and Sandbox at the time was like literally like a penny, 2 pennies, like a couple of pennies. I remember that, and I remember BitBoy talking about it. And BitBoy at the time wasn't really like a super large channel. And I'm like, wow, like gaming actually might be a thing and it's fun and people could understand it, right? Everyone's like locked in on Twitter. Everyone is like focused on investing, right? And everyone's getting like free money and all this stuff. So like I thought to myself, like, am I gonna get into some like, these VC, tokens and whatnot that don't really have a a fun element to it, or am I gonna like get into something where a new market participant can be excited about it, right? So I'm kind of viewing it the same way, and I think what you saw at the end of the last cycle will probably dominate the cycle afterwards, and that's what we've been seeing throughout all of these crypto cycles, right? In the 2013 cycle, towards that tail end, you saw a lot of alternative payment options rally hard, and that following bull market, you saw Dash, Monero, XRP, Litecoin just dominate everything, and then Ethereum dominated that second half, right? Ethereum dominated, throughout 2017, that second half, right? And what did you see pump during that time period, right? Towards that tail end. These alt layer ones, right? The Ethereum killers. You saw Neo, you saw your icons, your on chains, right? And what dominated the bull market after that? Alternative layer ones, right? Solana, Luna, Avalanche, Phantom. And what did you see dominate again, once again, in that cycle towards that, that last quarter, right? You saw NFTs, you saw gaming, right? So history never repeats itself, but it often rhymes. And they say the first cycle, you learn from it, right? Like you learn from it and you take that experience to dominate you use that experience to dominate the second cycle, right? So this is my second cycle. I'm going to use all the knowledge that I've gained and then apply that to this upcoming cycle. So I kind of think my thesis of, these meme gamified, products will likely outperform these gigabrain DeFi protocols, right? So as bullish as I am on things like Monad, Eigenlayer, things like that, right? Million, right? I think they will vastly underperform like these memeified tokens, right?
A huge shout out to our man Robert77. He's the first one to purchase a YouTube BB Chad membership. Robert, man. Robert's actually one of our Discord members as well, man. Robert has just he's literally been here since day one, man. Robert77, you truly are the man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support, man. We absolutely love you over here, and thank you for showing us love and helping support us as a young channel, man. You are absolutely one of the greats, Robert. So thank you for that, man. Thank you so much.
I have a chart to look at.
What's that?
Everybody thank Robert immediately. Everybody individually
thanks,
thank
Robert.
Robert. Tell Robert how much you love
Robert.
him. Everybody.
Thanks, Robert.
Take a look at Shib.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I like it.
About it?
Man, oh man.
What do you mean, man? In a good way or a bad way?
I mean, it's just hilarious to see it beat down so bad, but it's
Yeah.
at an interesting level, man. When I'm looking at the weekly on my phone right now.
Yeah. Will.
Probably runs fairly soon.
Will. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, I should probably buy some of this. But I have very little faith in Bitcoin, so.
There's no bull divs to be seen.
Let's see, what is the VWAP?
Double bottom.
Did you call that a bull div, Will? I don't know, man.
No.
I don't
Say
know.
it's bouncing at the low. I do think it's relatively close to a bottom, but I just don't think it's quite there yet.
You guys
That's a nice little wick, man.
Yeah. I mean, that literally whipped the lows.
Shib will pump again when the time is right, man. We're gonna see a meme coin frenzy, dude. The biggest tip off for me is all this activity around casinos right now, man, and Rollbit and all that activity. And there's going to be new, like crypto casino rollbit type of exchanges, and there's an appetite from this market to gamble, and there's always going to be. And I actually think it's only getting stronger with time. So
Yeah.
we're probably just in an accumulation phase, and I don't think it's pertinent to like accumulate anything like that right now, but these things will pump again. But truthfully, I think that Pepe is going to be an outperformer to SHIB and Doge. So
Does SHIB have a run before Pepe? It's a good question here. What has a more meaningful run sooner?
Damn it. There's no SHIB Pepe fair.
You have to make one.
Yeah, I guess we do. Should we do Pepe SHIB or SHIB Pepe?
do Pepe USDT divided by SHIB USDT. Capitulation. The frog will run first.
The frog will run first. Okay.
I mean, they're just staple shitcoins. That's all they are. You got staple shitcoins, and then you got regular shitcoins, and then you got rug shitcoins. At the end of the day, they're all still shitcoins.
But hang on, invert that chart for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good from an inversion.
Oh. I don't know.
I think if it gets over this high, you're going here. 25%. Pepe gonna bleed 25% against
That
SHIB.
looks horrible. Man.
Yeah. Right here. There it is.
Nah, it's gonna
It's
make
got
a
to die, man. It needs to go sideways, because as long as people are calling it the SHIB of next cycle, it will never be the SHIB of next cycle. It's not going to.
maybe we need some Pepe FUD before the next big rally.
We need
Well,
Pauly to capitulate, man. When Pauly capitulates, I'm all in Pepe.
Dude, I think that Pauly just bought like 600 ETH worth of Pepe recently. I think I
He's
saw
gotta
a tweet.
capitulate, man.
I kind of like him as like the face of Pepe, man. He can drive hype like nobody I've ever seen, man. He is
Cool at
entertaining.
first. He was cool at first.
You guys remember that with the Because Bitcoin profile as co-host for his initial spaces?
Yeah.
Man, that was beautiful to witness, man. He would play music and all that stuff. But
Those were fun spaces.
oh,
Good vibes.
oh yeah, man. So just imagine how like the bull run is gonna be, man. Like super hyped up and all that stuff. Like you'll know it's a bull run once like Polygon doesn't have to bot their Twitter spaces. That's what's going on.
Hey, man, they botted their on-chain activity. What makes you think that would change?
Yeah, like once we see protocols, like I saw Ocean Protocol, right? Like this AI project, right? I saw them have like 9 people on their Twitter space. 9 people. That's
How many followers do they have, Wabi?
hundreds of thousands. I think that they have well over 100K.
So the question there is, do they have an inability to drive attention to their own Twitter spaces, or did they just buy all their followers?
That's
Because I've seen a lot of big media accounts. There's even, I'm not going to name them, but there's some really big crypto media companies out there that have 1 million plus followers, and we run bigger spaces than them with 11,000.
yeah.
You
They
know what I
bought
mean?
they bought their followers. It has to be that.
But at the end of the day, it's just kind of a drop in the ocean if you really think
Yeah.
about it. So
yeah, man. When you have a protocol give 10% of their runway for a few articles, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it, bro. But
Tucker, walk me through what is this that you got up? Is this Euro leading Bitcoin?
Yeah, we did it. We had this mapped out like a couple weeks ago, I think, and the real concerning thing is this, right? So
Bitcoin volatility is just like, no.
and there's your window.
So first, second week of August. I mean, that would line up with the seasonality of it.
August 3rd to August 11th is your nuke window. And by nuke, I mean like stab at mid 28Ks.
And by the way, the average monthly return for August in Bitcoin is minus 24% since inception.
When is Jackson Hole?
Are we going to run back Jackson Hole? There
Dude,
will be pain.
I hope we do.
I don't know, man.
I hope we do.
There will be pain for CZ in August, man. The stars have willed it to be so.
You think Binance is in trouble, Tommy?
I mean, I think the issue of whether or not Binance is in trouble and whether or not CZ is in trouble are probably two different things.
Yeah, because I think CZ will. He's probably gonna have to give power to somebody else, man.
Yeah.
At least like for another front man, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, right now Binance is kind of like an albatross on the space, honestly, for Bitcoin upside. It can't really go higher because, you know, they're selling Bitcoin to be able to save BNB. Let's take a look at BNB, Tucker, actually. We can end the show on that. Looks rough.
Looks rough. Yeah.
It looks like Luna at like $60, man. Before it got destroyed.
Oops.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That is probably going to be, that's going to do the Bitcoin thing I was talking about, where somebody just like randomly pukes a huge long on it and it loses support. And then we're going to have to see what the heck happens next.
Are there any big liquidation levels that are public on BNB?
225, 220.
220, I think, was a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's been the juggernaut of, I mean, not just the bull market, but the bear market as well. It's one of the only tickers that never lost that like bull market range low. So I think it's a matter of time, you know, but also you got to remember you're going up against the Godfather. So that can be a little bit intimidating.
I think BNB losing support will be the Bitcoin dominance blow off top because of how large BNB's market cap is. And I imagine the resulting effect on altcoins will probably be fairly extreme. Could be. We don't know, but we have no idea what lurks below that support on BNB, man. It kind of scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think that looks like for BNB? Let's speculate on it quickly. This could be fun. Do we think it's a wick that gets bought right back up and you get a 40% bounce, or are we range down there for a while?
I think if it breaks down here, it's over for a long time. You gotta find a new floor though, like $38.
I don't think it'll go there, man. I feel like it'll settle at like there's a little node right there. Yeah, that one. I think it'll stop there at like 125 maybe if it does break.
I think
I'm skeptical it would go that much lower.
The concern isn't for me like TA related. It's more like fundamentally driven. Is there a price where people kind of call CZ's BS for what demand actually looks like on BNB? And then it's the same problem as FTT where you're like, oh my God, they've been using BNB as collateral to back all of these other assets, behind the scenes. And we're going to have to sort all that through. I hope that's not the case. Because I don't think that BNB I find it unlikely that BNB kind of rehypothecated is the wrong word, but kind of like, FTX basically sold all their Bitcoin, right? They weren't actually holding any by the time they were illiquid. I don't think that BNB and Binance would be the same way. So I can't imagine that they would just go to zero, but I don't really know what that means is like how under collateralized are they necessarily?
I think they'll probably become like a Bittrex, man.
A Bittrex?
Yeah, I think
that's
Binance
crazy.
will.
I don't know, man. Do you think CZ would be okay being a Bittrex level exchange?
Yeah, I think eventually they're probably going to lose a lot of that dominance to Coinbase, man. He had his time under the sun, man. He had his time under the sun, I think.
You don't think he'll rug pull alts to save BNB if he has to, man? That's kind of my fear, and I do think like if there is a case if BNB breaks support that's your big Bitcoin dominance event.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I don't think CZ. I mean, I'm not. I shouldn't say that. But
We
yeah,
underestimate
I won't put anything past CZ when it comes to saving BNB, man. Like I saw what Do Kwon did, so that'll probably be like another UST event, probably. But I mean, at that point, like
I hope not, man.
you got to bid, man.
Oh yeah,
You got to bid. Like once I start seeing the Bitcoin maxi spaces saying, "I told you so, I told you so, I told you so," when I start seeing like, I kind of call this kid, like he's like the Adam Cockroach, whatever his last name is. He's
the
like
threader.
this kid is like the Adam Cockshran of like the BTC maxis, right? So anytime, and I think Hagrid, you know who I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
once I see that kid do a space and kind of bragging like I told you so, I told you so, but he won't pull the trigger and buy, I think it's probably just going to be another FTX event. I'm pretty numb to like these excessive like market drawdowns when they happen, and these like I guess bearish events, rather bullish events, because after they happen, you have to be bullish, right? Like, I think if anyone saw FTX collapse and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so bearish, I'm so bearish," you have to be bullish at that time, right? Because that's what's going to form the bottom. And if there was like a COVID nuke that was going to hit the market, right, it'd probably be like something happening to Binance, whether a transfer of power happens, dominance from Binance's market share going down or Binance going down, right? I think that's going to be like your second buying opportunity. And if that comes in line with the Fed cutting rates, well, all right, cool.
Dude, Binance does so much more volume than every other exchange. I just can't even imagine them becoming like some basically Craigslist exchange, or like Garage.
Craigslist, man. Oh gosh, bro. There's always like a hot shot exchange that comes out off of these pre-halving years, right? Like the last one was FTX. Maybe there's another exchange that's looming about that'll take some of that market share.
Ooh.
Is that acceptance back into value there, Tucker? What's going on?
Ooh. Lose Monday mid. It's over, man. God, why didn't I hammer the POC? Cry.
Man, I wanted to short the crap out of Matic at the top there, but I don't think it's done chopping yet, personally.
Yeah.
I agree with Tommy.
That's a lot of mental illness in a short range, man.
There you go.
I bet we get the sweep over the weekend of the low, and then they squeeze all these shorts or something really stupid like that, man.
That's a hammer.
That's something this market would try to do. Try to run it up before early August. Because if you're going to, you have to kind of do it now.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, that's a very tight range, fellas.
I told you, man. Everyone was
expansion soon on that range, Wabi. Matic is going to go to 55 cents.
Easily. 25. New low.
About that, man.
All right, I think we end on. I think we can end on that note.
Hagrid, man, bro. If I see you be like, "Oh man, I'm doubling down on my short," if Matic goes to 35 cents, man, I'm gonna do a bench press prayer for you, big bro. Don't be one of those guys, man. Don't be one of those guys, because like just like the Bulls, bro. They're like, "Oh man, Bitcoin is at 80K. I'm gonna double up on my long here. Same thing goes for those alts that make new lows, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those new lows are always put in with like the weirdest wicks, man. Matic is a weird one, man. But I don't doubt that it'll make new lows. I think interest on Matic is like pretty much dead now, man. It had its run, in my opinion, bro. It ran from 30 cents all the way to like almost $2 in about 8 months. That's a good run, man.
Yeah, it ripped 5x in a bear market.
It will return.
Well, it's not a bear market if it's not downtrending.
I call this a downtrend then.
You can
On a higher time frame, I'd call this a downtrend. Yeah,
Technically still a bear market.
Yeah. A Matic bear market. Yeah. I thought you were referencing like the entire like crypto space.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Matic bottomed in June. It didn't even like FTX happened like here. Like, Matic didn't even budge. Matic didn't even lose 70 cents when FTX happened.
You know who holds a lot of Matic though, dude? A lot of like these platforms like Celsius that had a lot of that in their treasury and they have to sell it off.
I think they already converted it to Bitcoin and ETH.
Yeah,
they made them do it at the top, at the top of Bitcoin. That was so mean,
man. You should take a look at Algorand, the Algo / BTC chart. That's something that Will is just crazy bullish on sometimes.
Oh no.
We're going to zero.
So let me tell you guys a quick story about this token. The way they did their sale, right? The tech is super bull. The hose guy.
His name is Zero.
Say his name, Wabi.
Hector Zeroni.
His name is Zero.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
We're just gonna leave him there.
But listen, man. But listen. Like the tech is bullish and all that stuff. The founder is like his name is Silvio Macali. He won the Turing Award, which is like the Nobel Peace Prize of all computer science, right? Super bullish and all that stuff. Has been in cryptography since like the 70s, the 80s, right? He's a very old guy, brainiac, right? But the way the token sale was done was via Dutch auction. And the top of that auction was like $5. So this thing, anytime it's caught the slightest pump, it just gets crushed and crushed and crushed and crushed.
Yeah, I wonder what the
I see very. Okay. Yeah, that one's tough. Maybe has it already swept the all-time low?
Yep.
Oh man, it's not looking good, bro. Needs Gary Gensler's.
And what's crazy is that Gary actually vouched for this product. Like he oversaw everything about it. But
it's down only.
Yeah, but it was so bad in the Algorand ecosystem that their top DeFi platform had to rug because they didn't have sufficient liquidity.
They had to rug.
It had to rug.
You know what the scariest statement in all of crypto is due to market conditions. Due to market conditions. That is terrifying, dude. And I think like if we want to talk doomerish, right? I was on this space, right, and people were talking about how like Uniswap is going to have to KYC all their users, and it's like, how do you KYC Uniswap, dude? Like, how? What? And it's because they're an unregulated securities exchange. Like, I don't understand, dude. Like, you always get the craziest bear narratives during consolidation, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be able to do that. KYC Uniswap.
Yeah, how would that even work, man?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
It's decentralized finance VCs and devs who have already made it. They don't really care about really why they started building. So why not cash out again? I don't know if that's gonna work, but A lot of existing DeFi infrastructure right now will hardly be able to be called DeFi, I would imagine, in a year or two.
Why do you say that, brother?
Well, I mean, a lot like traditional DeFi, like AAVE, Compound. I mean, they're all pretty much going the institutional route, the KYC route. We're gonna have to probably build some new, actually decentralized financial protocols. And these, I mean, these protocols really haven't ever been that decentralized, right? I mean, huge entities have always had huge stakes in them anyway. But
we're gonna have to call
goes. I don't know. I mean,
are we gonna have to call Danny for that?
Maybe, man. Get the DGen box back. That was fun. Spell time. Danny coins were such a blast, though, man. Honestly, we can go ahead and wrap things up. We've been going on for about an hour and a half. We appreciate y'all for sticking it out with us this Friday morning. Hope you guys have enjoyed the content, enjoyed the charting, the conversations, the discussions. We had a lot of great dialogue today, I felt like, and really throughout the course of this week. FOMC finally passed us, right? So we can now move forward. Maybe we can get some actual finality in the directionality of the way the market will decide to trend here into August, which I do anticipate that August will be a very volatile month. Maybe not for equities, but definitely for cryptocurrencies. So a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. If you, like I said, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel and the video. We appreciate your support as always, guys. And if you really enjoyed the content, we do have some premium content available in the form of Discord, where we're trading actively there every day. We have a premium newsletter as well as premium articles and a bunch of other stuff for you guys as well, including the new YouTube membership stuff. So BB, because Bitcoin up only, goes without saying. Just wanted to say that before we wrap up on Friday. Hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.